welcome to Finding Hope in the Valley. So this is a long-form content video. I do post long-form content videos. It has been a while since I've done one. The last one you'll see was about my friend passing away. I still have more videos that need to be made to go with that video, but life has just been, it's been too hard to kind of dive into all of that and unpack it. And with my body flaring a lot right now, it's just not the best of time. So if you are new, welcome. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I see a lot of you are watching my short videos, so that's good. I do want to get back into long form content. Life is just really hard right now. So, but that is to come. So be on the lookout for that. This video is going to be kind of a Q&A for some of the questions that have been asked in my short videos of what is it exactly that you have? What are your symptoms? How does it affect your day-to-day life? And who are you? So I am going to jump right in so that this video doesn't get too long. If you see me moving around a lot, I did have another massive flare last night, which has created aches and pains in my body and hives. So I'm very itchy. I'm trying not to be itchy, but I am itchy. So I will try to be as still as I can, but I have no promises. All right. So I have something called POTS and dysautonomia. If you don't know what that is, dysautonomia is a dysregulation in the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is the system in your body that tells you to do things behind the scenes. So things that you don't have to tell your body to do. Like you don't stand up and tell your body, okay, blood pressure rise, or sit down, blood pressure lower. Okay, I'm going to eat, stomach, digest. All those things that you don't have to tell your body to do, it just naturally does behind the scenes. That is what dysautonomia is, and my system is broken, which causes then POTS. POTS is caused by dysautonomia because my body is not regulating its body temperature, or not body temperature, blood pressure properly. So when I stand up, my blood pressure is usually about 80/47. If you know anything about blood pressure, 120/80 is what they call the normal. Who's ever normal, right? But they call that the normal. So I'm usually 80/47, 75/40. That's typically what I run. If I tend to get more normal, so like closer to the 120 and the 180, I actually feel really, really bad in my body. I feel like I'm having high blood pressure. And that is because my body is so used to being low that it doesn't know how to handle more normal blood pressure. So I could go to a doctor and say, I feel like crap. I feel like I'm having high blood pressure. They'll take it and they'll say, you have a great blood pressure. And I'm like, yeah. But you got to compare it to my everyday blood pressure. I'm always this, and now I'm this. So I have POTS and dysautonomia. With that, I get low blood pressure, low heart rate, sometimes high heart rate. Some people with POTS and dysautonomia, they will get up and their heart rate will drop really low and their blood pressure will go sky high into the 200s. Some will have a really low blood pressure and a sky high heart rate. It's just person dependent. So I normally, on an everyday average basis, I run about 80/47. Some days it affects me, some days I don't feel it. The way that it affects me is panic in my adrenals. It also affects dizziness. I have extreme dizziness, imbalance in walking and mobility. Brain fog, a lot of brain fog because if your blood, another thing with dysautonomia is we don't circulate our blood the way that we need to. So we're not traveling blood through our body the way we need to. We are either pooling here, we're pooling in our abdomen or in our feet. And that can cause us to feel lightheaded, dizzy. You know, sometimes when you stand up and the whole room goes black or fuzzy, that happens all the time for us. every single time we stand up. We stand up and then we stay in one place for a few seconds to make sure that we are safe enough to walk. Because our blood is pooling and it's not getting up to the brain where we need it to. So those are some of the things that I experience with POTS and dysautonomia. Broken adrenal glands, so I'm always in fight or flight mode because my body is not able to tell itself that it's safe. Nausea, constant chronic nausea, because my body doesn't tell itself to break and digest the food. So it sits in there like a rock and makes you feel very nauseous because it's not, you don't hear anything in my stomach. You don't hear, stomach noises moving and breaking down the food and putting it here and putting it there and giving you vitamins and nutrients and pushing it out of your body when you go to the bathroom. So that's some of the ways that I am affected by POTS and dysautonomia. I also have something called MCAS, or mast cell activation disorder. And with mast cell activation disorder, you have too much histamine in your body. You get histamine buildup. Now, one way to help with that is to take an antihistamine, or there are a lot of really good herbal remedies that help with that as well. But unfortunately, I react to all of them. And that's another thing with mast cell activation disorder is you are hypersensitive to everything. Laundry soap, touch of clothes, fragrances, perfumes. You won't find us wearing fragrances or perfumes. You're sensitive to soaps, laundry soaps, food, smoke smell in the air, just lighting. You're affected by fluorescent lighting, just so many different things. We have a saying in my house, and there's an old country song that says, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Every day between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, I will sneeze 10 to 12 times in a row, nonstop. And daily, it's a constant daily thing. And so I always joke and say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Today I have hives, so if you see me moving around a lot, I have hives, and that's part of mast cell as well. I had an adrenaline dump last night, which then created a mast cell reaction, and I have hives. I'm trying not to itch, but I'm not very good at it. So I have mast cell activation disorder, and I am unresponsive to treatments that might help that. I also have Epstein-Barr virus, which is chronic mono. One time, we don't know when, but sometime in my life, I had mono. And what it does is you get mono, and then once you're done having mono, your body will grab it, encapsulate it, put a shell around it, and then tuck it away. And then you are pretty much protected from mono, so they say. But stress and sickness and illness can slowly break away at that protective lining and shell, and it can allow the virus to go into your body again, and you can get very high virus numbers. So I have extreme high virus numbers of Epstein-Barr virus, which is chronic mono. I also have high mold numbers in my body. I'm extremely sensitive to mold, and I am full of mold. And again, I am unresponsive to treatment for that. No matter how hard we try, it just makes me so sick that we have to stop or I won't make it. So, I have that. Let me think. I have a lot of food allergies. So a lot of people will say, what do you eat? What do you live on? Rice crackers all day? Kind of. Kind of. So I am allergic to wheat, oats, rye, banana, egg, dairy, pork, and coconut flakes. I can have coconut water, but the actual coconut flakes, can't have it. So we have wheat, oats, rye, coconut flakes, banana, dairy, and pork. What am I supposed to eat? And then, so those are my food allergies. And then I have my sensitivities. Avocado, hummuses, ground beef. Let's see, what else is a big one? Trying to think. Either way, I have a bunch of food sensitivities. One day I'm okay with them. The next day they're too fatty, too rich, too heavy, and they make me extremely nauseous and want to throw up. One day I do great with an avocado. The next day it's like, why in the world did you give yourself an avocado? And I'm writhing in nausea. And that is because of the Pott's dysautonomia. It's not helping to break down the food and get it going. And the more rich and fatty foods really, really make me feel nauseous. I also can't break down lettuces. Lettuces will make me extremely nauseous. I really, really miss a big, fat, good salad. I miss salad, something terrible. But I can't break down and digest the thick dressings, especially the oil ones like Italian dressing, because I can't have ranches or things like that because they have dairy in them. And so if you go to the other types of dressings, they're more vinaigrette type. And I don't do good with the oils, the olive oils and the thick fatty oils that are in there. I don't break them down, and then I don't break down the lettuce, and then it's a bad combo all the way around. I feel so green, so disgusting. So between the food allergies and the food sensitivities, it's hard to eat. I know a lot of you see my posting, this is what I eat with chronic illness, and I've had some negative Nancy's, and you know what? Let them be who they're going to be, because they don't live in my body. They don't go through what I go through. And I, as much as you, can't stand eating the same thing again and again and again, as much as you can't stand watching me eat what you call processed foods. I'm just someone out here trying to do my best, trying to eat anything possible to be able to gain weight, because I am extremely underweight. And when you mix chronic nausea and a whole bunch of food sensitivities and food allergies, it is really, really hard to gain weight, especially when you don't break down your food and turn it into calories and fat and things that you need to get vitamins and meat on your bones. So just know I'm doing my best. So let's see, what else? I'm trying to think. So we talked about the Pott's dysautonomia. We talked about the mast cell activation disorder. We talked about the mold, the Epstein-Barr virus. I also have tachycardia of the heart. So my heart will either beat really, really fast, feels like it's beating out of my chest. I also will get a flutter, and it will cause my heart to get out of sync or out of rhythm when it beats. And so then my body will force a hard cough. Just out of nowhere, I can feel the flutter, and then I just cough, like one big hard cough, and then it will get it back into rhythm. So I also have that. Those are no fun. Anything with a heart, I think, just gives me the heebie-jeebies and scares the pants off me. And you'll find when my heart does that, I naturally am just, it's a prone natural instinct to just grab your heart, I think anything with the heart and the brain, I think, would be super scary. So I do get my adrenaline dumps like I had last night due to Pott's dysautonomia. Those are absolutely, absolutely horrific. I will go into that in a more long-form content video. I don't want to get this too long, but my name is Melissa. I live in the desert underneath some mountains is what I'm going to say. We live with snakes, rattlesnakes, scorpions, tarantula migration, lots of fun things like that. I have 3 children, and I have been married a very long time to an amazing, wonderful, supportive husband. I know a lot of people don't have that, and I am very, very blessed to have that. So I created this channel because I could not find a channel/group where people are not judgmental. Even in a chronic illness support group, you would be surprised how many nasty, negative people there are. And it's like, if you are going through the same crap in life, why the heck are you dishing out crap? It makes no sense to me. Where's compassion? Where's sympathy? You know what this feels like. Why are you being so mean to them? So I was like, forget this. I'm going to create my own channel with kindness, compassion, love, and understanding, because I think people with chronic illness need to feel that. They need to know they're not alone. They need to have a judgment-free zone where they're not going to get judged. They're not going to get berated. And if they start to get berated in the comments, whoever's doing that is going to get blocked. Plain and simple. I'm not having that. We are here to love one another. I don't care if you believe in God or not. I am a full-fledged Bible-believing Christian who loves the Lord with all her heart. I pray for others who are sick. I have kindness and I have compassion. And even if you don't believe in Jesus, why can't we just love one another? Why can't we have kindness and compassion? What happened to that? Where did it go? So that's what this channel is about. This channel is to let others know you are not alone. Also, it's to let you know chronic illness doesn't have a filter, okay? Chronic illness doesn't have a filter. I don't have a filter on. I was up till 2, 3 in the morning with a horrific flare. I will now be in this chair or in my bed for the next week recovering. No strength for a shower, no strength for makeup, no strength for changing my clothes. Chronic illness is not pretty, and I'm not here to make it look pretty. Some days I look quite scary, and that is the real, raw, honest truth of chronic illness. So I hope this answers some of your questions that you have had. I hope that you will share this video, give it a like, a thumbs up, and I hope you'll come back. In my next video, I will go into what an actual adrenaline dump is, more long form. I've done shorter form, but I'll do more long form on that. And I also plan to do more long form about what my day-to-day life looks like as someone who suffers with chronic illness. If you're suffering with chronic illness, just know you're not alone. I'm here. I'd love to pray for you. I'd love to support you on your journey, and I hope you stick around. God bless.